Imagine this. For more than 4 decades, one man has ruled a nation. He has seen generations rise and fall, presidents come and go, and the world around him change. Yet he remains. This man is called Paul Biya, the 92-year-old president of Cameroon. He is Africa's second longest serving leader, surpassed only by Theodora Obiang Nguema of Equatorial Guinea, who has ruled since 1979. But Biya's story is not just about longevity, it's about power, survival, and the silence of a nation caught between fear and loyalty. To truly understand Biya's unshakable rule, we must go back to where it all began, back to the man who built the foundation of modern Cameroon, Ahmadou Ahidjo, the first president and the man who unknowingly handed power to someone who would never give it back. In the year 1960, Cameroon had just gained independence from French colonial rule. A new nation was born, and Ahmadou Ahidjo stood tall as its first leader, a disciplined and ambitious man from the northern Fulani region of Garoua, determined to hold the young republic together. At the time, Cameroon was plagued between two colonial legacies, French Cameroon and British Cameroons. Ahidjo's mission was clear: unite both under one flag. In 1961, he achieved it. The Federal Republic of Cameroon was formed after the southern British Cameroons voted to join. Ahidjo ruled with precision. He admired order more than liberty, but to him, too much freedom threatened unity. Under his leadership, Cameroon maintained strong ties with France, its former colonial master. French advisors stayed in key positions. French companies dominated trade, and French troops were stationed to guarantee stability. This Franco-Cameroonian relationship, sometimes called La Franc-Afrique, determined Ahidjo's era. But as the years passed, the pressure mounted. Ahidjo's health began to fail, chronic fatigue, hypertension, and the emotional toll of constant control. He was also worn down by internal rivalries and the growing complexity of managing a divided country. By the early 1980s, he had one loyal aide who handled the day-to-day running of the government, Paul Biya. And so, on November 6, 1982, because of his poor health, Ahmadou Ahidjo resigned, a move that shocked the entire continent. So who was this man, the quiet technocrat suddenly thrust into power? Paul Biya was born on February 13, 1933, in the small southern village of Momeka in the Dar-el-Labo region. He came from humble beginnings, raised in a Roman Catholic family. Biya attended missionary schools before getting a scholarship to France. Again, he studied law and political science at the University of Paris, and later attended the National School of Administration, France's early school for top civil servants. When he returned home in the 1960s, Cameroon was newly independent and building its government. Ahidjo saw something in the young, educated Southerner. He was calm, intelligent, and disciplined. Biya rose quickly through the ranks. Director of the Cabinet at the Ministry of National Education in 1962, Secretary General at the Ministry of National Education in 1965, Secretary General at the Presidency in 1968, Ahidjo's right-hand man during that time, and finally, Prime Minister in 1975. During Ahidjo's rule, Biya was quiet but efficient, loyal, never confrontational, and perfect bureaucrat. To outsiders, he seemed harmless. To Ahidjo, he was the ideal successor. So when Ahidjo stepped down, Paul Biya took over as the new president. He was young, polished, and promising. A new deal for Cameroon. The people cheered. The world applauded. It seemed like a new dawn. But peace between the old and new presidents didn't last. Ahidjo had expected Biya to follow his guidance and continue his tight control. Instead, Biya began asserting himself, replacing Ahidjo's loyalists, reshaping the ruling party and moving the country away from northern dominance toward a more balanced, southern-led government. Ahidjo, still the head of ruling party, saw this as a betrayal. From exile in France, he accused Biya of plotting to erase his legacy. Then in 1983 came a shocking claim that Ahidjo has orchestrated a coup against Biya. The young president struck back. Ahidjo was accused of treason and sentenced to death. He fled permanently to France, where he remained until his death in 1989. A bitter man, exiled from the country he built. With his mentor gone, Biya stood alone, and then he would never share power with anyone again. Once in full control, Biya crafted his own image, soft-spoken, intellectual, and distant. He turned politics into a quiet game of survival. Ministers were reshuffled without warning. No one knew who might be next, and that fear kept everyone loyal. He rarely appeared in public, earning himself the nickname, the absent president. But behind the calm smile was a man who mastered control. Under Paul Biya, Cameroon remained close to France, militarily, economically, and then diplomatically. French businesses dominated the oil, banking, and timber industries. Yet ordinary Cameroonians saw little change. Corruption grew, freedom shrank, but as long as there was stability, the outside world stayed silent. In the early 1990s, when Africa began to democratize, Biya faced growing protests. Students, church leaders, and opposition groups demanded change. To calm the pressure, he legalized multi-party politics in 1990, but it was democracy on his terms. Elections followed: 1992, 1997, 2004, 2011, 2018, and then finally 2025. Each time, Biya won, often by a wide margin, always amid controversy. Opponents alleged voter intimidation, stuffed ballots, and the use of the military to secure results. Biya's government dismissed these claims as lies of the opposition. Through crisis, economic downturns, the Boko Haram threats, and the Anglophone conflict in the Northwest and Southwest, Biya stayed in power. He presented himself as Cameroon's anchor of peace in a dangerous region. And for some, that was enough. After 43 years in power, Biya has become part of the nation's fabric. He's outlasted 8 French presidents and 7 American ones. For many Cameroonians, he is the only leader they've ever known. But the people are divided. Some of the young protesters are saying that he has ruled for too long, he is too old, and then they need fresh blood. Others are also saying at least there is peace, so they should allow him to rule. The older generation remembers the civil wars of neighboring countries and fear instability. The youth, however, see no future under a 92-year-old president. In October 2025, Cameroon returned to the polls. At 92, Paul Biya announced he would return again. Many thought it was impossible, but for him, it was routine. The campaign was quiet but intense. Opposition candidate Issa Chiroma Bakri energized young voters, promising to end decades of one-man rule. When results were announced, Biya was declared winner with 53.66% of the votes. Chiroma rejected the results, claiming the election was the greatest fraud in the nation's history. Within hours, protests erupted in Douala, Yaoundé, and Bamenda. Crowds filled the streets shouting "Biya must go." Security forces fired tear gases and live bullets. Over the next few days, chaos spread. The United Nations reported at least 48 people killed in clashes between demonstrators and security forces. Hundreds were arrested. In the Anglophone regions, a 3-day ghost town protest was declared. Markets closed, streets empty, silence everywhere. International observers urged calm. France called for restraint but stopped short of condemning Biya. The African Union expressed concern, yet recognized the official results. And Biya, he said nothing. No television speech, no victory rally, just silence from the palace in Italy. To his critics, that silence symbolized a president detached from his people. To his loyalists, it showed calm confidence, the quiet strength of a leader who is seen it all. From Ahmadou Ahidjo's disciplined foundation to Paul Biya's unending reign, Cameroon's story is one of power gained, and power never surrendered. Ahidjo ruled for unity, Biya ruled for control. Supporters see Biya as a guardian of stability, the man who kept Cameroon intact through storms. Critics see him as a relic, a symbol of a nation frozen in time. Yet, one fact remains. Paul Biya has shaped Cameroon more than any other man in its history. And as the country faces an uncertain future, one question still echoes through the streets of Yaoundé and Douala. When Biya finally leaves, what comes next? Because for millions of Cameroonians, they've known only one leader their entire lives. From the rise of Ahmadou Ahidjo to the never-ending rule of Paul Biya, Cameroon's history teaches a simple truth. Power, once held too long, stops serving the people and begins serving itself. And perhaps one day history, not politics, will determine when it's time for Cameroon to turn the page.